let's talk about the defense. Something that's interesting. We're learning about Javon Hargrave. Hell of a player. Hell of a pass rusher. Not a good run defender. He used to be, but he's almost 30. He's undersized. And according to PFF, he's a liability against the run. And I think a big reason the Eagles didn't bring him back is because he got moved around a fair amount in the Super Bowl, and was one of the reasons why the Chiefs averaged like 6 yards a carry. So now you take him from, being in like a 5-man front where he's a little bit protected, trying to get him one-on-ones. Now you put him right in the middle of a wide 9 where he's going to be getting double teamed on run plays. I mean, on the one hand, it's just the run. We said it earlier, right? Like defensive coordinators are less concerned about stopping the run.
Yeah.
So there's that. On the other hand, he might get moved around a little bit. I mean, not that he could get moved around more than Kinlaw was in that NFC Championship game. I don't know. Are you concerned?
So, and not until we've had this conversation, because my understanding always was that he is a decent run defender.
PFF gave him like a 40-something grade, like 90-something pass rush, 40-something against the run last year. He used to be a good run defender in Pittsburgh, but he became a liability. Ask any Eagles fan. They will tell you.
Wow.
So,
yeah, I'm unaware of that. That's disappointing to hear, because my hope was that he was going to help with that situation. So
I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't make me feel good. I mean, the 49ers, though, the funny thing about it is the way this NFL is going, like you could be the worst defense on 3rd and short against the run and still be the number 1 defense in the NFL. And that's what the 49ers were last year. They were the worst in the NFL against stopping the run on 3rd and short. But they're still the number 1 defense in the NFL. And a lot of that is because of the way the NFL is right now. It's a passing league. And so maybe that's not the biggest concern. But the question, I guess, is who is he replacing?
Kinlaw. Or it was Ridgeway. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't necessarily an impact player. So it's not like they're going to take a step back there. And I do want to point out, in 2020, his first year on Philadelphia, their defensive coordinator was...
I have no idea.
Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. Jim Schwartz. I don't know why his name forgot. Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz is like the father of the wide 9. So Hargrave has played in this scheme before, and I actually think he was good against the run in 2020. He was 27 back then. So he has experience. I'm sure the Niners have tape of him doing, holding up to those double teams. Can he still do it? Let's see.
The Eagles in general were bad against the run, so it probably
true. It wasn't just him.
Yeah, I mean, and look how they approached the 49ers. They weren't trying to stop the run. They didn't care. They didn't bite on the play action. So it could just be a scheme thing. He could have the potential to be great at it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But I do think they looked at them losing in the Super Bowl and looked at the 158 yards they gave up on the ground. They only gave up 182 yards through the air to Patrick Mahomes. That should be a win right there.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs were able to stay balanced, stay ahead. I mean, and jab with that run game, and maybe they felt if they could have shut that down, they would have won.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I mean, they almost did.
Yeah, they almost did.
You take that fumble away, they probably do.
You know why they won? Yeah, I was arguing about this with Jack Hammer online. You could look at it like Jalen Hurts is the reason they lost because of that fumble. To me, Jalen Hurts is the reason that game was even close.
Yeah,
I mean, he threw for. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, he threw for 300 yards, which you got to do. He ran for 70 yards. He threw for a touchdown. He ran for 3 touchdowns. To me, he did fumble, and it was a 7-point mistake. To me, the only quarterback who could have beaten him that day was Patrick Mahomes. Only quarterback in the world.
In order to beat Patrick Mahomes that day,
you got to be perfect.
You have to be perfect.
And he wasn't.
Jalen Hurts played really well, and the only reason they were in that game is because of the way he was playing. One point,
I don't think any other quarterback would have beat him that day on that team.
I mean, after watching back my interview with Larry yesterday, Larry was making a point about Jalen Hurts not necessarily being the reason that the Eagles were winning, but when Jalen Hurts wasn't there,
in the Super Bowl though. In the Super Bowl, he was though. In the first 2 playoff games, he didn't have to do a damn thing. He didn't have to do anything against the Giants or the Niners, but he had to put the team on his back, and he did.
Yeah,
and that's why he's going to get paid. And what's funny is the Eagles come out of that season. They said, you know what? We had a great defense, the number 1 pass rush. It didn't make a difference. We got to get better on offense. The Niners come out of the season being like, man, we got to get better. We had the number 1 defense in the league last year. It wasn't good enough. We got to get better on defense. It's like, all right.